From the field to the uprights, this is Laces Out, the ultimate deep dive into college football special teams. I'm your host, Brian Jones, former Cincinnati Bearcat kicker and NFL prospect. And every week, we break down the kicks, punts, returns, and hidden gems that win games. If you live for the sound of the ball flying off the tee, you're in the right place. Laces Out starts now.
Laces Out!
Welcome back to episode 4 of the Laces Out podcast, powered by Gridiron 1880, the podcast where we talk about everything special teams. Tonight, I'm excited to be joined by one of the top young specialists in the entire country. He already holds over 20 plus Division I offers, has been turning heads on the camp circuit through Cole's kicking, and is quickly becoming one of the biggest names in the recruiting world as a combo specialist. Please welcome kicker punter from Palmetto High School in Florida, Brandin Gallaway. Pleasure having you on today, Brandin.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. It's a pleasure.
So yeah, let's kind of get right into this here. Probably the first key thing to go through is 20 plus offers as a junior in high school right now. Tell us kind of why you think that happened.
Honestly, I just gotta thank Jesus for giving me this opportunity, and also my family was a big help because they've always been telling me if hard work pays off. So, I mean, really my whole life, I've been working hard, and I did play soccer when I was little. So, I mean, I thought I was going to go pro in that, and I always worked hard at that. But after high school hit, I kind of switched mindset after things started rolling. So, but I kept that same mentality.
Obviously, for you, had to work hard, the family support and everything. What would you say was your first kind of situation of where you started earning that respect from your peers, your family, coaches, stuff like that? That kind of, like I said, kind of solidified, really going back to the 20 plus offers,
Yeah.
why you had those offers.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had Bruno Ruiz. He's at Missouri right now, but he's going to be the starting punter, I believe. But he really taught me everything, and so did Kyle Toma, my coach. I have a special teams coach, so they always told me if I keep working hard because I had the leg strength, and then just really it just came down to my technique, and they were always like really good at helping me with that. And then over the years, I kept improving, and then once you start hitting those big balls, it just starts rolling. And then after that, you get more consistent. And then, it's just honestly, it's really just the hard work. That's really it. If you stay consistent with everything, you're going to keep improving. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now, would you kind of say, you played soccer, sounds like your whole life. So was that transition kind of natural for you, which, for me, I know there's the small differences between kicking a soccer ball and football, but you have that natural transition already. But would you say it was, a little bit natural transition for you? And then as you got into high school, you were also in the weight room, so you built out, you built up that strength as well, or kind of what would that look like?
Yeah. So, I mean, at first it was pretty difficult. I would say kickoffs were the easiest for me because it was more of a soccer style run up.
Yeah.
But really, I just had to change my whole technique. But I really just kept the same like leg swing almost. But I had to change like contact on the ball and all that, which Bruno and Coach Kyle Toma, they all helped me with that, and then really just turned that into a full kicking motion that I used already really for soccer, but just more
Okay.
technique used for kicking. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty natural, I would say. But yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Are you still playing soccer, or you hang those cleats up?
Yeah, I hung the cleats up last year around this time actually. So yeah, it's been a whole year
Okay.
now. Yeah, I
You
played
miss it a
ever
little
since
bit?
I was 2 years old. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do miss it
Yeah.
though.
No, yeah. No,
Yeah,
when I was done, I missed it too, even in college. So,
yeah.
awesome. Now, I know, let's kind of go to your first offer. When did that come? What grade were you in?
That was last year, beginning of spring. I was a sophomore, so it was Georgia Southern. I remember that getting the phone call from my coach Kyle Toma. he just said he called me, he was like, "I got some big news for you." He said, "Georgia Southern just offered you," and I was going crazy. I was that
Yeah,
was my
no, that's
yeah, because you couldn't, talk to coaches at that time because it was still the
yep.
period where you can't talk to them and communicate. So, after that,
Yeah,
I was
okay.
yeah, that was really the first time I was like, "This can be real," like, it's paying off a little bit. Like, you can see the
Yeah,
improvement and everything, yeah.
huge stuff and everything. Now, did that come after your sophomore high school season in, like, the springtime?
Yeah, that was yeah, beginning of springtime, yes, after the season. Yeah.
Okay,
Because I was
awesome.
at Brandon River High School before that for that
Okay,
season, and then I transferred to Palmetto High School, through the ACE program, and then, yeah, it was, like, maybe not even a month there, they got that, so, yeah.
now, did that come also had you already got your rankings where you're number 1 in the class of 2027 and number 3, for
Yeah, I
kicking
it was that,
and
underclassmen in January,
yep,
my sophomore year, just before that, that's when I got number 1 punter and number 4 kicker at
okay,
that time. So, yeah, that's when things
okay,
started to roll, and then that was
okay.
also another thing where I was like, "Yeah, I could do this if I keep working hard." So, yeah,
Yeah, that kinda solidified it, which I
yeah,
was there, so yeah, you were a sophomore,
yeah,
and that I mean, that's for people that don't know, that's pretty much the top underclassmen in the country that get invited from the 5 winter showcases that Cole's Kicking, that they run, so you're gonna see the best talent in the country for sophomores currently in high school, so, no,
yes,
that's
sir,
awesome, okay, and I've gotta say, I was telling Paul earlier that the last person I was going back to the rankings to make sure, but the last
uh-huh,
person that I know of that was a combo, in high school, and that was both top 5 in kicking and punting was Austin Seibert from my
uh-huh,
class that held I think he had, like, 10 offers or so, ended up going to Oklahoma and starting as a true freshman,
uh-huh,
had a really huge career there at Oklahoma and then got drafted in the 5th round of Cleveland, so, but it's like and I had to do my research too, I went back through every class, back to my class,
uh-huh,
2015, and the most offers I think I've seen for either a kicker or a punter was maybe Austin, maybe, like, 12, so it's like still, it's so crazy that you have 20 plus because you're gonna you go to a great high school program in Florida, so I
yes,
know
sir,
you guys probably have position players that get multiple offers, like 10, 15 plus. So
yeah,
you don't see it as in the kicking world anyways. So um, that's awesome to see there. So,
yes, sir, yeah, I've
and
been in
I
good
gotta assume,
contact with Austin. Yeah, we've texted a couple
oh yeah,
times, so, yeah. Yeah, he's a really
yeah.
nice guy, yeah. Yep,
Yeah, great guy and good person just to get resource and information from because he's been in your shoes, especially from the recruiting side and then trying to balance all 3 things. That's a lot on your leg, in
yeah,
high school, but also when you get to college it will be. So awesome. Now Brandon, and I think I've seen on social media, you have set up
uh-huh.
a couple of official visits, right?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. So I got 4 OVs right now. I got, Clemson, Auburn, West Virginia, and Tennessee.
Okay, perfect. So staying sounds like kind of more in the South right now then, correct?
Yes, sir, but honestly, that really doesn't matter to me, it's really where I feel at home, that's gonna be
Yep.
my main decision, and then, just the relationship between me and that coach, because 'cause Imma be there for 4 years, so,
Yeah.
you gotta have a great relationship with that coach, so it's gotta feel like home, so yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Awesome. No, that's great. You got a good lineup coming up, so that's gonna be great to, go experience it, get on campus, and see everything. I'm sure you maybe already have at some of those, but in
Uh-huh.
general, going for that official visit will be cool, so
Yes, sir, yeah.
awesome. So kinda, go to your development here, I know you played soccer your whole life. You obviously, your parents have pushed you to, if you work hard, you're going to get the results, they're going to pay off. Which I'm sure you've already seen that already up to this point. It doesn't come that easy, especially in the kicking world. So for your training, off season, I know in Florida you guys can do spring ball, so it's a little bit different than, for
Mhm.
us in New York, but what does training look like, for you in the off season once football in the fall is done?
Yeah, so, off season, I really only, if anything, I kick twice a week. We
Okay.
try and save my leg because, especially last year, I had camps. So that whole June, I was really kicking. So then that like off season style in July, I was really
Yeah.
not even kicking for a couple weeks. And then if I did, it was twice a week, trying to save my leg and not overkick. And then I would just lift every day. That's what I would do. Try and build up that strength. And then yeah, that's pretty much my off season.
Now, for you in a game, what's your longest field goal, and in practice, what's your longest?
Yeah. So in a game, it's actually 47 yards. But
Okay.
this season, hopefully that changes. We'll make some improvements on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our operation this year is absolutely elite. I absolutely love my long snapper and my holder.
Yeah.
'Cause they've been with, me a year now, so we got some really good
Okay.
chemistry. So, like, especially in the spring game, we went
Yeah.
perfect in the spring game, so that's I think that's just like a little warm up for the season, honestly,
Y
for what's to
yeah,
come.
and then
Yeah,
I mean, and so in practice, and then so 47 in game. In practice, what's your longest field goal?
70 yarder. Yeah.
Is that
Yes,
off the
sir.
sticks, or was that, like, simulated hold, or
That was off the sticks. We haven't gotten that
that's
far
awesome.
back with the operation,
Yeah. In an
just because there's
operation,
no
what's
need
your
to really,
longest?
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, the longest with the operation, I think it was like 63 or 4, but it was
Yep.
pretty good. I think I got it on video too, but yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And that's the thing, like Brandon, to tell you, I had a discussion with Paul like a month ago about just the development of specialists. Like when I was in high school, I hit a 52 my junior year, but
Yeah.
like 60 is what the new 70 is now. Like where you guys are hitting
Yeah.
65, 70, like
Yeah.
60 to us off the sticks was like that's what the top kids in the country did. And then now, like when we were at the underclassmen challenge, like yourself and some of those other kids that made it in the final comp are going back to 60, 61, 63. And I'm just like, yeah, it's crazy. And then you see
Yeah.
it in the NFL, obviously. So that's just the development of the game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at those close camps, most people have the leg strength. It's really just comes down to
Yeah.
the who's having a better day with the accuracy wise and like with the
Yeah.
wind and all that. But yeah.
Yeah. And kind of who can perform under the pressure. I mean, I would
Yeah.
say that's the other big thing too.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
now this is a running joke with Paul, but he didn't know what juicy footballs meant. So if you had to go out in a comp right now
uh
and you had a football to pick, what football are you picking to put out there to kick? For a field goal or kickoff, whatever it is.
I would have to go with a Duke just because those
Yep.
things fly. I absolutely love
Yeah.
those. Yeah. They just like they have a different sweet spot, and I feel like it's
Yeah.
also a bigger sweet spot, honestly. Like
Yeah, no.
it's not like a skinny ball. Like some of the
Yeah.
Nike balls, they're like extra skinny and all that. But
Yeah.
those things, if you just hit them right, they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
yeah.
yeah, Paul, he is 1,000%. Normally, Jamie will put away the NFL balls or make kids use his
Yeah.
own NFL balls that are
Yeah,
like
yeah.
hard as a rock
So
and not
yeah, for
fully
field
broken
goal,
in.
I would just use my GST, the Wilson one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing was pretty juiced. It was like we mudded it like when we first got it, and that thing's got really like nice and juicy. Like it was good. Yeah, that
Yeah.
thing flew. But yeah,
That
kickoffs. I'm glad that Jamie lets us use NFL balls because those things fly. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah, they definitely do. No,
yeah,
that's hilarious.
yeah,
Now, and I know we talked about this. You go to a powerhouse high school program, had two successful seasons the past 2 years. Yeah. Now, do you have my first question? So is it your coach, or do you have like kind of a special teams coordinator that also knows kicking?
yeah, yeah. So Kyle Toma, he's my special teams coordinator. He actually coached in college. So he worked at App State and
Oh,
ULM
nice.
as I
Okay.
believe it was a coordinator or analyst. I don't know which one, but so he knows a lot. Like that's
Yeah.
if I didn't have him, honestly, like technique wise, I don't know where I would be. Like because
Yeah.
I would say leg strength kind of comes naturally, but if you can teach to kick and use those mechanics properly, like
Yeah.
it's yeah, the sky's the limit. But yeah,
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's the thing, like you said, leg strength is huge. Some of that stuff, like, there's things you can't teach, but it's like the mechanics are probably the difference maker. I tell kids that I work with here that everybody has an A ball, but what does your B ball look like? Even your C ball, because you got guys that have that A ball, but they have a massive drop off to like a D ball. And
yeah,
or they're stick kickers, is what we call them, and they can't kick in a simulated situation. So,
yeah,
that's huge to have that resource because I would say that's another thing. A lot of kids that I work with, they're a special teams coordinator, which it is true in general is most of the time, like, they're really smart in the scheme sense, but when it
um,
comes to kicking specifically, they're not, very knowledgeable. So it makes it tough, in practice when, like, drill work and stuff like that, if you don't have those eyes, it's hard to develop, that's awesome that you have that,
yeah. Yeah,
every
he
day.
was and he was
Cool.
also actually a kicker and punter in high school, and I believe he played college a little bit. I'm not sure though.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's
Awesome.
obviously he was a kicker and punter, so he obviously knows what he's doing. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
no, that's huge. Now when you guys go into, like, pregame, are
uh-huh,
you kind of feeling it out, to relay to him? And I'm sure he's watching also, but hey, going this way, I'm good from here. Going this way, flip the field, win, whatever it is, I'm good from this distance. Does that change the game for you guys in your offense? Like knowing, like, hey, Brandon's good from 45, 50 and out easily. Depending on situation, we can put him out there for a 55 yarder or something too.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we obviously the wind's pretty bad at Palmetto because it's so open.
Yeah.
It's either like
Okay.
directly across field or just straight up and down. But yeah, so we for warm ups, like we'll go out. We'll obviously feel the wind because it's that strong, and then we can see the
Yeah.
flag post. But then, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I could make a really long field goal going this way, and then this way I
Yeah.
might struggle a little bit more. So that might
Yeah.
cut off some distance. But yeah, that's we really don't have a certain like distance we say I'm good from here and here. But
Okay.
like they're pretty good at like I would say estimating and letting me go for it or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we managed
That's
that pretty
awesome.
well. Yeah.
That's great, and I mean, that's other thing too, not many high schools and I know in New York, it's not many. In Florida, I'm sure the numbers are a little bit higher that have, actual true specialists and kickers, and like you said, like, your operation is great. That's a big part of the game, like, yeah, it's hard for you to be successful if you don't have a good snap and hold.
Uh-huh.
So that whole operation it's hard to find something that's truly, solid and timing wise is good, blocking all that. So that's awesome, for
Yeah.
you that the coaches have the trust in you and the operation and the offense is like, yeah, we're good. Like from here, we don't need to go for it. If it's 4th and 10, let's trust Brandon to go out there and make a field goal for us.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
And plus too, our offense
Um,
is like really, really good. Like we have this like
really,
really strong 27 class. Yeah. And then
really,
our receivers, they've got loaded up offers too. So they're amazing. And then our QB can throw that thing too. So
that's
yeah,
that's
we
awesome. So
yeah.
it's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got some great
Cool.
players. Yeah.
Yeah. Good, good. Now, then, obviously, I know you kinda you have the kid that's at Missouri now, that sounds like he was more of a day-to-day, week-to-week kinda kicking coach, helped you with everything. Now, for Coles, when did you start doing Coles? And just what's your thoughts on showcases, with Coles?
Uh,
Do you enjoy? Because like we talked about earlier, you're gonna go against the top kids in the country head to head. They say iron sharpens iron. Just give us your perspective, um, on that.
Yeah, so well, first, Bruno, the Missouri kicker and punter, we played together when I was a freshman and he was a junior.
Okay,
So he was more like a
nice.
mentor for me.
That's
So
huge.
yeah, yeah. And then for Cole's camps, I really like Cole's camps. I think they're absolutely amazing because you're getting the best competition in the nation. So like it's either make it or break it, honestly. Like if you love
Yeah,
competing, it's for you. I mean, if you don't, it's probably not, but like when I first started, I did it sophomore year. So like I didn't really know about it freshman year. I was kind of just feeling it out and seeing if I liked kicking and punting. And then when I started to get, like, better and I was like, "Alright, I should probably try and do something." Like, I could see myself doing this one day. And then, uh, I think it was during the season sophomore year, I went on one of the weekends to a Texas showcase, and I think I did pretty decent, and I realized it was a lot harder than I thought. Like, there's other kids out there that are really good. Um, yeah, and then I came back for a Atlanta one. I won kickoff, and that was the first time I felt like, like, wow, like, I just won a kickoff competition out of everybody. I was like, "Holy moly." And then
Mhm.
the underclassmen, obviously, I've heard about it. I watched all the YouTube videos, so I was like, "Yeah, that's a big camp right there." So I was obviously prepped for that. And then I really noticed the competition level did change a lot from just a normal showcase to like a underclassmen. So yeah, I really like it. Like competition wise, if you want to compete against the best, then just yeah, Cole's camp is perfect for that. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's you went Texas is a big one, but, like, going and winning the kickoff one in Atlanta, I would say to me and historically, like, Atlanta is normally the most talent just because, you're in, like, that hub of Georgia, like, Florida football and all the big states for high school football, so you see so much talent, but, like you said, it can be good reality check for athletes that think, they're good, um, which not saying these kids aren't, but, they go and see other competition for kids from all over that are the same talent level as them. And it
yeah,
gives you kind of that little chip on your shoulder to go home and like, hey, I got to continue to work because there's kids from all over that I just saw in one day, whether they're having a good day or not, kicking just as good as
yeah,
me. So
yeah,
I think that's the best thing. Like you said, if you want to compete and get put under pressure, that it's a great opportunity. And what I tell families and athletes now is you got to go there and take advantage of it. Put the
yeah.
pressure on yourself to perform now, which that's kicking.
Yeah, there's definitely some pressure going into that, especially when there's a
Yeah.
good crowd watching, but that's just part of it. You gotta get used to it. So, I
Yep.
think
Yeah, exactly.
honestly I think it honestly makes me better because it makes me more, like, zoned out and just focused on kicking and not wanna focus on,
Yeah.
the people and watching and, like, you know, you just gotta focus on that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then like I'm sure when you went to college camps last summer, like you already have been under that pressure feeling situation, like being at a big time Coles camp, like that stuff will transition
Oh, yeah.
uh to where it's not like it's your first time and it feels foreign. It's automatically like, yep, all right, I've been here before. I know some of the kids that are there probably as well. And like I said, you have that pressure feeling already. So it's just another day of kicking is the way to put it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely say that relate over to, like, college camps. It's really the
Yeah.
same pressure, there's that
Yeah.
feeling of you have to make this, and then you have to hit a big ball, all that. Yeah, it's pretty much the same
Yeah.
thing, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, did you start as a combo or were you mainly just kicking and then you did punting?
Yeah, so, I did all 3 to start out. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, I just got straight into it, just got told how many steps you have to do, like 3 back to the
Yeah.
side for kicking, and then obviously kickoff steps. And then I just, like, let at it, I guess, and then everything fell into place from there. Started getting taught by, Bruno and Coach KT, so yeah, that's really how it worked. I just started out doing all 3 and kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. Do you find it hard to balance both in the off season or even in season when you're training? Like, I mean, that's a lot of the way we would say that's a lot of taxing on your leg I
yeah.
mean, even just kicking alone, but doing all three, have you found a good solution, in the off season, this is how I balance it. In season, this is how I balance it.
Yeah, yeah, so, mainly for especially in season, we won't do, like, it at all, maybe 1 or 2 full step kickoffs, like, during a
Okay.
game week, but we'll do it early so that, I'm not killing it just before a game or something, and
Yeah.
then, we'll also maybe do field goals once or twice a week, it just depends on how I feel, I would say,
Yeah.
and then punt, I would say I could punt almost every day, but obviously you need a break or two in between. But punting for me
Hmm.
is like I could do that probably every day and be fine. But I would
Yeah.
say more kicking and kickoffs. Those are more, I would say, taxing on your hip flexor, because that's that motion of coming
Yeah.
across it, I guess. So you
Yep.
definitely got to restrict yourself on that. And then also, I have my coaches helping me, telling me, all right, that's it for today, or today we're only doing this and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got it. We usually have it all planned out, which is perfect. So yeah.
Awesome. No, that's huge that you're learning that now, because I gotta assume you can tell me here, but is most of your offers, the programs that have offered you, are they recruiting you as a combo?
Yes, sir. Yes. I would say, I would say punt and kickoff is more what they see me as, but a lot have
Okay.
also said I could easily compete for field goal, which
Yeah.
is that's what I want, honestly. Just to
Yeah.
compete for all three, and obviously I'm gonna try and win that job, which I hope everybody would want that. Because you're
Yeah.
gonna that yeah. My goal is just to go in and just try and compete with the specialists, and then hopefully win the job. That's just my goal. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, and that's where kind of going back to how you balance it. Like you're already doing that now, at I mean, I would say a high level. Like most kids, they don't understand how to take care of their body and the treatment and how to go through a game week of, all right, this day I'm going to do this day I'm going to do this, and this is how I monitor like how many reps I'm getting with the team and on my own, because for us here, I help coach special teams at CBA Syracuse. And that's what, we've got 2 periods of special teams, and then we'll take a good 45 minutes of drill work, and then that's really it. I mean, and there's only so much you can do with kicking, punting, the whole thing. Expect kickoff, that's very light, honestly, weekly.
Yeah.
So you already knowing that stuff is huge, and it's just you're going to get access to those treatment resources too at the next level, which will just make it easier and better too.
Yeah, yeah. And especially on those off days, like even when we're not kicking at all, well, I'll get drops in and catch snaps from
Yeah,
my long snapper just to get
yeah,
those like mindset reps, honestly. Like a mindset. You put
yeah,
yourself in that mindset where you're in a game, but you're not actually kicking or punting, you know, just getting those
yeah,
drops and reps in. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
And
we
that's what
do that a lot.
see, that's like another good thing too. It's you already are like you're already talking kind of like we'd almost say like you're the way you talk already would be next level. Like you're already seeing everything in the sense of if I'm not kicking, I can still get dry runs. I can still work on ball drops, catch snaps,
Uh-huh.
working game reps, but even it might not be me swinging, like actually making contact with a football. Because it's like Thomas More said, I think I mean, I've always heard that he still does like the punter's mile, and he's like
Yeah.
year 16 or 17 in NFL. So it's like that right there is a perfect example of if you want to be successful in the sport, or even in anything in life,
Uh-huh.
even if you're a vet and having success still, at his age, you've got to continue to work it even on the off days, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Kind of paint us a picture for people that don't know what spring ball looks like for you guys in Florida. Like I said, like we're in New York, so we don't do that. We've been lifting 4 days a week since we won the state championship this past December. So we
Uh-huh.
started lifting 4 days a week in January, and that's pretty much what it's been until fall camp, and that's August, and then we can throw pads on. So for you guys, what does that look like with spring ball in Florida?
Yeah. So honestly, after our season ended in the playoffs, I think it was maybe 2 weeks break. Then we're right back into lifting. And then we would do that. I believe we lifted for a month or two. It was something like
Okay.
that. And then we continue to lift every day. It depends on if it's like a heavier day or not, you know. But yeah, so we lift for about 45 minutes on a practice day. And then we'll go in the locker room and change, get ready, and then you walk out and that first blast of heat just hits you, man. It's yeah, that it's hot, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we'll go out, I would say 30 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes early to practice to get like our full warm up in. So, I mean, that's really like a full day. Like that's not
Yeah.
including like the breaks, and some of the off days we have. But yeah, that's more of a full
That's
day in
awesome.
spring. Yeah.
Is that like 2 months? Is it a month long or?
Spring practice was 3.5 weeks, but lifting
Okay.
like right after the season, like a couple weeks, we just start lifting again. So lifting
Wow.
is really consistent with that. But yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, that's pretty close to what college would like. I mean, especially for high school, it's crazy to think about. That's awesome. Now, do you prefer natural grass or turf?
Uh, I would say natural grass, but if it has to be like that carpet feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's a
Yeah.
thick grass, then nah, I'd rather just
Yeah.
kick on turf. But
Are
yeah, I would say like
are you
college
guys natural
level
grass?
yeah, college level grass, like that stuff's nice. Like I would kick on that every day. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, are you guys natural grass at Palmetto?
No, it's a turf field. I believe they got
Oh,
it 2 or 3 years ago now. But yeah,
oh, it's so good.
it's pretty nice though.
No, yeah.
I'd rather that than our practice fields that like barely get cut sometimes. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's nice. Yeah, in the college, like, yeah, the fields down that are natural grass, I mean, like, the one that stood out to me, we played at UCLA 2018, first game of the year, so the Rose Bowl was just perfect. And I kid you not, it's like if you step on it, and I'm sure you've felt this already, but they feel like a soft bed. Like it's pristine. UCF was like that, but even like when we play Temple, they play at the Eagle Stadium, and like that was nice. UConn though, but then UConn was long grass, and that's the grass that like you hate. And like you were like we hated it. You're like, why are we playing on long grass here?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of these fields I've stepped on, they just feel like a soft carpet, like honestly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's just insane to
Yeah,
even think that's real grass.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
yeah, no, it is crazy. No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, no, Brandon, I appreciate you coming on today and everything. Thanks for taking time, out of your evening to speak, about your journey with kicking, punting, kind of your recruiting process as well, which is it's got to be gaining so much, just headlines, news hitting it. Just because, like I said, for a specialist to have 20 plus offers is to me, like I said, unheard of. And I guess like I went through that process, years ago, which seems like 10 years ago, and I haven't seen a kid like that now. Like I said, it's something that you see with position players, and I'm sure you have, like I said, kids on your team that are the same way. So for you, tip my hat off to you. Obviously, you've been putting in the work, like you said, where your parents have been pushing you. If you put in the work, the results will come. But this was a pleasure, man. I appreciate your time, being able to get to know you and your journey. And one last thing, if you had to give a kid that's coming up in the ranks, he's a
Uh-huh.
freshman in high school right now that's getting into kicking, what's a couple little bullet points you would give to him? Just
Yeah.
things, advice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. It would be stay off social media. Like I would say like the talking and like the bragging, I would say. Like if you do your thing and you like ball out, it's gonna speak for itself. You don't need to go brag or I would just say like argue with people online. Like just stay off of that stuff. And then
Yeah.
really just like keep your head down and keep working. Like you can't be focused on other people. Like I'm sure everybody will go look at others and be like, "Holy moly, he just hit a 65-0 or something." Like you can't, yeah. Like everybody's gonna eventually like get there one day, but you just got to keep working and focus on yourself, honestly. So yeah, I'll
No, I
say
love that.
those things are the main thing, and then obviously the recruiting wise, those will follow behind it if you work on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, let the people like myself or Paul here talk about the recruiting for you, because that's the thing. Like you don't post really anything to social media. It might be a little bit, but for somebody that has, you could say, that status that you do, it could be very easy to post everything, but you don't do that. So you're humble where your feet stay and where they stand. So tip my hat off to you, like I said, and that's great advice for a young athlete. But again, Brandon, thanks for the time, man. I appreciate giving me the opportunity to be able to speak with you today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on here. It was great to talk, and really about my journey. So yeah, it's awesome.